All right, so we are back on to see tonight's fuckery. That's how I just gotta call it just how it is. Okay, it's just straight up fuckery. Okay, that's how I see it. All right, this is what's going on really, because it's just sad. It really is. It's um it's just a really just to say it's just R. Kelly in a form. It's R. Kelly's final form. Let's just put it that way. R. Kelly's final form. And the crap that comes out of this man's mouth is ridiculous. But let's just get into it. All right, let's just get into the show right here, right now. Oh boy.
Citizen over here, and let us all on. All right. Now, Lyndon, I think I can hear my echo from really. Yeah, is there a way that we can do the echo cancellation? Let's see. I don't see it in the dashboard. Are you on a StreamYard? Yeah, I'm on StreamYard. There's no. Does anybody know how to do the echo cancellation on StreamYard? Because it's opened up a window, but it's not giving me the full panel. Let me see. Let me try this again. Hold on a second. Or do you have headphones? I do not. Hold on a second. No problem. Let me try this again. Good. While he's working that, I'm going to mute you. And I'm just going to go over. I don't even want to get into my monologue because I might not want to stop. And I want to be super respectful of these men's times. You know, I value my time. My time has a specific hourly rate, but the value of these two gentlemen is crazy, right? So thank you so much for showing up, Anton. And I think let me see if I can pull you back up right here. All right, Lyndon. That better? Let me see. Testing. Is that better? Yes, that's much better. Okay. That's much better. Thank you so much. Listen, thank you so much, guys, for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. Hope kind of get some some common ground. I don't know if that's possible because you guys seem to be on the extreme of a lot of different angles, right? But I want us to talk to see kind of what happened and kind of where we are and to clear up a lot of misunderstanding. I know I saw a lot of people talking about, Lyndon's having sex with 15-year-olds, right? And to be fair, that is not what you said, Lyndon, in the videos. Right? I thank you for saying that because I've been seeing that quite a bit. I've been seeing that extrapolation. And also, I want to say, I love your content. And I thank you for sending me this invite because I've been seeing all kinds of crazy stuff. And I want to go ahead and clarify why there are so many people rocking with me because people are mad at the folks who are supporting me. In this, I don't know when you joined YouTube, but years ago, I had 3 male channels called Disruptive Male, where I was talking about male content and these type of explicit stuff. And a lot of people loved them. And then, I got a little carried away and I was like, you know what? I'm not actually giving the guys the stuff that they need. So I deleted the channels. So there are people who are very familiar with me in the manosphere. And this is why Alan Roger Curry, this is why Edward Anderson, this is why people are rocking with me because I put this content out for years and this never was part of it. this was a part of a strategy which many people will disagree with me. I think is working very fine to launch the new male channel, The Lost Kings, because I want to separate myself from other male content creators. And
right, so let me not to interrupt you, but so you're saying that this the video that you put out first when you were in your car, that was part of a strategy to launch your channel.
yes, it's a month old, okay. And part of this is,
I'm sorry, I don't believe a damn word he's saying, and I don't think any of you would believe that. Who would want to risk saying that crap, knowing that could get destroy his brand?
It's like one of the big things is with YouTube, shock and awe works, and actually, I am really surprised that the blowback wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be worse, to be honest with you, and it really wasn't. And people have been saying all kinds of stuff like my age, and this stuff happened like 20 years ago. This is what's funny. People act like I was at some high school with lollipops and soda pops seducing young girls, and that wasn't the case at all. But these things did happen, but the ages, because like I don't know if you got that thing I sent you earlier. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it because I don't know if you were in your show. But I used to do something called Craigslist protocols, and I'll explain out all that. I used to have a business called the Upscale Garage Sale, and I used to use Craigslist for advertising. And I noticed I would have NBA players. I had really hot chicks coming in for my Craigslist ads. And at the time, Craigslist had a section called the dating section. And I started writing content for these ads. And in the beginning, it was horrible because I wasn't getting any results. But I stuck with it and I stuck with it and I stuck with it. And I kind of tapped into something. And I would get responses.
I'll be right back, Lee. I'm sorry. All right,
I'll be right back. I would get responses from high school girls every day. And this is the thing, and this is what's funny. 99.9% of them I ignored because, you know, the average high school girl looks like a high school girl. A lot of them are not developed. A lot of them don't look like women. So I had no interest in them.
Let me just jump in right quick. What was the text of these ads? What did they say?
This is when, if you know, because you said I'm into some wild shit. This is the BDSM, and I kind of toyed around with the content marketing, and what I found was long form ads worked really, really well. And it was just talking about what I would do, what was on the table, the activities. I'm not going to get explicit on your show, but I spelled out in detail what I would do, what I would not do. And a lot of women started responding, like 10, 15 a day, 7 days a week. And part of that
was, okay. So was this these were ads for sexual activity? Is that
yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
And was compensation included, or why would women respond to a ad, just a random ad?
Great question. Great question. What I tapped into was the female submission story. There was no competition. There was no compensation. There was no dating. They would strictly just show up in my place and have sex. And this went on for about 10 years. I started tamping it down. Let's say 15 years, but 10 years hard. And then 15 years, I kind of backed away from a lot of that stuff. But that was the gist of it. I mean, it literally changed my life. And I thought the launching of the Lost Kings, because, you know, I started making content about a month ago, and I was like, I have been the target of so many YouTube hate campaigns, and none of them been anything that I've done. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw some raw meat out there for the dogs, because I've seen, you know, like I've been reading the comments and stuff, and, you know, people want me buried under the jail, and people want me, you know, and I think you did a real good job saying that ain't nothing going to happen to me, because number one, this isn't current activity.
And number two, when it was happening, it was never illegal. I never had sex with a 15-year-old girl. I never even had sex with a 16-year-old girl. But part of the thing is, I know y'all may disagree with me, but I feel that the social media experiment worked really well. And because I'm getting more and more subscribers, I'm having all kind of content creators making crazy videos. Some people can't even pronounce my name. It's wild. And I feel that this is probably going to die down because I was thinking this is going to go on to the end of October, but I don't think it's going to go on that long. I don't really think it's going to go on that long.
What's the experiment part?
Yeah, Anton, why don't you give us kind of your initial view on this, your initial take? I will answer the experiment was the actual video. YouTubers are known for faking stuff and putting out stuff that isn't real. This has been YouTube since YouTube started. So I went ahead and I put up a video that was talking about some very saucy stuff, and it started performing, and then I feel that your video helped propel it. The video isn't going to go viral. I already can tell that. It's at like 5,400 views. And part of it is to set the brand and to build a community the way that I want to build a community. I don't want weak,
bullshit.
I want people who will be committed to personal change. And if I can put up a video like that and I can get subscribers, I'm getting the right kind of subscribers. I'm getting the right kind of people that I want.
So what type of people are you getting? Are you getting people that but I don't get the social experiment. What type of people, what type of subscribers were you trying to get? Excuse me. What type of subscribers were you trying to get? That's what I want to know. You put a video out that you slept with minors. You slept with a woman and her two daughters. The mother was practically a sex trafficker. Said she was trying to groom them to have sex with black men at a young age. So what was this social experiment supposed to prove?
And about a day after I put it up, I was like, Anton's going to make a live stream of this. And you sure did. I knew that.
So you capping so hard. You capping so hard. You did not play chess and thinking that I was going to make a video of you. All right, Lee. So this is really what's going on. Okay. You know, and I'm glad that he right here because you know me, I like to say stuff straight to people's face. The thing that really happened was he was clout chasing, number one, right? He been clout chasing since the very, very beginning of me even noticing who he is. He's tagging me in videos.
I tagged you in one video.
He's tagging me in videos. He's reaching out or whatever because I'm hot. I'm hotter than fish grease, and it just is what it is. And everybody know I'm hot, right? So he's tagging me in videos.
I did not reach out.
I didn't interrupt you at one time.
Yeah.
I didn't interrupt you one time.
Yeah.
I want to reach through the screen and just grab that ugly, stupid big lips that he got. But I ain't interrupting one time, bro.
You're right. You're right that you didn't interrupt him. So he didn't interrupt you, Glenn. So let him talk. And then you can. I'm going to give you a chance to respond, of course, right? But yeah, go ahead, Anton.
So he tagging me in videos. I don't even know who this guy is, not even a little bit, right? I don't even know how he know me. I've been on YouTube for over 8 years. Apparently, he's been on for even longer. Cool, whatever. He in his section, I'm in my section, right? So he tagging me in videos. So as usual, when people tag me in videos, I go and see what it is that they talking about. I don't disagree with what he's saying from a business perspective, right? He doing reactions. Cool. I don't care. We all content creators. We all rock out. It is what it is, right? So then I do some research, and I don't necessarily agree with the way in which he go about living his life, but I didn't see anything crazy. And so my thing was I made a reaction video actually bigging him up saying that, yo, I actually agree with him from a business perspective, and I don't argue with millionaires, right? He's a millionaire.
I take his word for it, whatever. And I didn't do extensive research, but clearly he knows business, right? I'm objective in that. I'm able to separate the person from the content. You know what I'm saying? The sin from the sinner, whatever, figuratively speaking. So I'm like, okay, cool. He dope. You know what I'm saying? He knows what he's talking about from a business perspective. I actually align with some of the things that he's saying. It is what it is, right? And I said, okay, so I'm gonna reach out to this guy because he had actually did some more reaction, or he mentioned me in some other stuff. He replied to the video where I got my corporate executive position and all of that other type of stuff, right? And so I said, okay, well, I'm gonna reach out to him. But something just kept coming up every single time I went to go reach out to him. So, and this is the God's honest truth. So I'm praying, 2 days ago, something like that. I get up, I tell people what my routine is. I get up, I pray, meditate, talk to God, whatever, so on and so forth. And I go to reach out to him, and I look in my inbox, and I see a thing with a message that says Glendon Cameron at the top of it. And so I'm like, this must be a representative of his or whatever, but I was just going to reach out to him this morning. And so they sent me the video, and so I could go and check out the video, and I see it. And so the thing about it that I'm trying to make sense in my mind is, how is it a social media experiment when you, in the second video, first of all, it's coming out of your mouth. One of the things that he said in his reaction video is, if I was Anton, or what Anton should have did was reach out to me and say, is it true? It's coming out of your mouth. If it was somebody that was accusing you of it, or it was an allegation, that's one thing. But if you're the one that's saying it and admitting to it and championing it and going to it in great detail, why wouldn't I assume that you're telling the truth? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. This man meant every word he said. Glendon Cameron meant every word he said. That wasn't fake. That wasn't a publicity stunt. This man did what he did. He had no remorse. But then when he understood what was going on, how people were coming for him, then he tried to put a spin on it. That's what happened.
So that's A. B, why would I even want to clout chase like that? Why would I want that type of attention? With great power comes great responsibility. And if we're supposed to use our platform to empower people, because one of the things and one of the reasons why I was reaching out to him to rock with him is because he was actually helping people from a business perspective. And that's who I align with. If I'm reaching out because you actually pouring into people, right? And he's watched my video. He knows that I rock with character, that I don't do business with everybody. I've always said that I only rock with people based off of I only do business with people based off of having good character along with it. I've literally divested myself from looking at even race as a factor. It's only based off of good character. He says it out of his own mouth. In his follow-up video, he says it's true. He also admits to receiving pictures from a 15-year-old.
Yeah, let's go point by point, because I don't want to overwhelm you, but I see what you're saying. And to Glendon, to be honest, I had questions about the experiment thing too. It seems to me that people run experiments to find out knowledge, right? That's the purpose of an experiment. You have a question and you're trying to find an answer. And so, you run an experiment on gravity, let's say, but once you figure out how gravity works, you kind of move on. None of us need to run experiments on, if you drop a tennis ball, is it going to hit the ground? And so what was weird to me is that you were saying, on the one hand, that you were running experiments to kind of see what would happen. But it seems to me that the knowledge was already there. Now, let's just kind of break it down. You can say, well, I'm running experiments on one of two things, or maybe both. I'm running an experiment on how Anton will react, and I'm running an experiment on what will happen with the algorithm. All right. But let me just finish, and I want you to I want to hear your response. If you're running an experiment on how Anton will react, to me that doesn't make sense at all. Because everyone knows that based on your first video, Anton's going to flip, right? If you run an experiment on how the lead attorney is going to react, that's a question, right? Or if you run an experiment on how,
Edward Anderson is going to react. That's the question. But everyone knows from the stance that Anton takes regarding righteousness, regarding religion, regarding premarital sex, right? Regarding even courting. Everyone knows that this, if anybody's gonna flip, it's gonna be Anton. Like there was no reason to run an experiment.
Wait. You did all this. You risked your brand to trigger another human being? Is that the experiment? You risk your freedom, your reputation to be seen, instead of being seen as a respectable businessman, to be seen as a child predator. You risk that to trigger another human being? Is that what I'm hearing from Glendon Cameron? Yeah, right. Wow.
Experiment on that because everyone knows how he was gonna react. And you said it multiple times in the second video that you knew how he was gonna react. So there's no reason to run. And we all know that Anton is not going to accept anything really in that first video. If anybody's not going to accept it, it's going to be him. So you can say, well, okay, I wasn't running the experiment on Anton because I already knew he was going to flip. I'm running an experiment to see what's going to happen on, how the algorithm is going to react, right? But then again, if I run that experiment, I can run it because I had 1,000 subscribers in January, right? So I've got a few more now, but my trajectory on YouTube has not been that long. There are things that I'm still learning about YouTube. You've been on YouTube, I think you said 12 years. So there is no one who knows more about how your video is going to, 12 years, what your video is going to cause more than you. It's not an experiment if you know what's going to happen at the end of the experiment. Do you see what I'm saying? So go ahead.
All right. First of all, okay, no, I understand. First of all, I did not run an experiment on Anton. That was just like after I dropped the video, I was like, because I was seeing how the moves Anton was making, I was like, he's going to do a reaction video on that. And there was no experiment with Anton. Okay. That was just part of the mix. And actually, Anton's video elevated that video. And also, this whole thing is like YouTube is really, really crazy. You can put out a video,
excuses,
and you can have an assumption how it's going to perform. But then you put that video out, you don't know how it's going to perform. And like I said, I've had people do 4-hour live streams about me, talking about me, and I was like, I'm going to try something a little risque. I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to see. And the first few days, it really was nothing. I said, okay, this is going to die. And then it started. Anton did his video, and then a whole bunch of other people did their videos. And the video is not going to go viral. It's not going to happen. And so I would consider it static experiment. It's not like super successful because honestly, I thought there was going to be more blowback. I thought there was going to be more anger. I thought there was going to be more people with pitchforks coming after me. And actually, I feel that this is pretty much going to die out by next Friday because that's the way it's trending. So that was one experiment because one of the things I wanted to do with this new male content is just separate myself from everyone else because there's a lot of male content channels out there. And I learned my lesson.
Just not to interrupt you, but just to be clear, you're saying that you didn't know what would happen if you released a video as sensational as the video that you released. You've been on YouTube 12 years, but you're saying you didn't know what would happen, or you didn't know if you would get more views?
Yeah, because like I said, I put out videos that shocked me that did 100,000 views. And once again, like I said, my hopes was it would be more inflammatory, and it wasn't. So that's what I mean, because I was hoping that I knew it would be. Once again, I'm not surprised by the blowback. I'm not surprised by the responses, but I felt that there would be even bigger blowback. I felt there would be even a larger response, and that didn't happen. So that's why I said I ran an experiment. Yes, I had a feeling that this would get people upset, people would be mad, and people, it's polarizing. It's a very polarizing video, but I did not know to what extent it would go. And once again, it's not performing like I thought it would. And this is.
But why would you even want to do a video with me if you know who I am? If you know what I stand on, and you know what my morals and my character is, and you know how I move, why would you even be looking to do content with me in the first place?
Okay, first of all, I tagged you in one video. I did not reach out to you ever. I've not reached out to you ever. And also, that's a really good question because you have a brand, and your brand is the antithesis of my brand. So there was not going to be any collaboration. I didn't reach out to you. I wasn't planning on reaching out to you.
So you've been capping in all of these videos up to this point. You literally kept saying, "Well, you know what? I got to reach out to Anton. I think we're gonna do something together." Because you said that in multiple videos after you tagged me in the video.
I tagged you once, and yes, I did say that. And then later on, I changed my mind and I stopped doing that.
Oh my God, bro.
Seriously,
Glendon. Hold on, Lee. Seriously, Glendon. I mean, are we gonna be real? You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna be 100? You're not gonna say you was looking for clout because in that video that you tagged me, you didn't just tag me. You tagged the lead attorney. You tagged a whole bunch of people. You was clout chasing. You was looking for more visibility from people that was hot at the time, and you was reaching.
Once again, I did tag you. I did tag the lead attorney. I tagged a few other people. And I was like, this ain't really working. And I stopped doing it. Have I tagged you in the video recently? No, I haven't. Now, let me ask you.
You just did a whole reaction video on me.
Because you did a video about me.
No. Not on this one. When I got the corporate executive position, you did a whole reaction video on me. The whole video was about me. What are you talking about?
That is true. I did that video. And once again, my feelings changed.
Seriously.
This dude thinks people are dumb, and his followers gotta wake up. I know a couple of people a girl used to follow Goldilocks. She doesn't follow him anymore. But another thing is the fact that he said in the video, Glennon Cameron did do a shout out to Rom Wills. So I wonder what Rom Wills has to say about this. And he's a content creator. I wonder what he has to say about this.
Seriously. Do you see why I say I have to pick and choose who I do business with, bro? Because it ain't even just about whether or not we ain't even got to the thick of this, right? Because it was some bad stuff in that video. We ain't even got to the thick of it on the real. But do you see why I say I have to vet people? Because he not even being honest in his clout chasing. Like he not being honest in him reaching out. He not being honest in everything that he's doing. It's all cloaked in some kind of deviant behavior or some kind of underhanded move that he's trying to move. And I don't rock with these type of people, bro. I preach it on a regular basis that you gotta be careful who you do business with because everybody that get money, his ability to get money, his talent don't necessarily align with good character, bro. Right. It's so unfortunate that I'm just trying to be as respectful as possible.
And I appreciate that. And I appreciate both of y'all being so patient. I really do. Let me ask you this, Glendon, because this kind of comes up too, and Anton is hinting at it as well. This whole, we'll call it an experiment in making a very polarizing video. You have, to me, you have great, excellent content when it comes to business. And I can hear it. Now, you say stuff that I don't know all the time in your videos. Now, I'm not a businessman, right? But when I listen to your content, when I listen to Anton's content, I really learn. Also, I could easily look up to you as a content creator because you have 100,000 subscribers. That's hard to get. And you might not know, but I'm trying to follow in the footsteps of our boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson. We all rock with O'Shea, right? And O'Shea put me on, and he set an example for me of helping other people come up. And so I've started, helping other people with their YouTube channels. Do you think like this is the best way to grow a channel? Like why would you choose this way to launch your channel to do such a polarizing way involving children? Well, why do you think that was a good way for all the young? We have a lot of young content creators in the chat who look up to both of you. Both of y'all are extremely strong YouTubers. And why is it this way involving children and kids? Why is it like this? Once again, this is, you are relatively new to YouTube and you haven't seen no content. This isn't a radical departure from my older content. The only thing that was different was I dropped ages, and I've never done that before. I put out that type of content on YouTube for 10 years.
So this isn't a radical departure from what I'm doing. I just threw a little extra wrinkle in it. Yeah, I guess I'm not asking. You're saying this isn't any change from what I've done in the past, and I'm not saying that it's not a change. I'm not talking about change at all. I'm talking about why do it like this? Why launch a channel involving polarizing issue with children? I just chose that topic. I just chose it, and we will see about 6 months from now, was it really a bad decision or was it a good decision? So we will see. And
how do you determine what's bad or good?
How the channel
is it? So you only care about the numbers. You literally only care about the channel numbers, the money, this whatever. The only thing that you determine whether it was bad or good. What about the impact? What about the fact you literally just gave a blueprint to predators? You gave the predator blueprint. Yo, if they got good parents, you want to stay away from them. All of this other stuff that you said, none of that matters.
That wasn't a predator blueprint. That wasn't a predator blueprint.
Yes, it was a predator blueprint. You just told dudes how to get with these underage girls. Make sure they don't come from a good family household. This dude digging himself a hole. I don't even know why he came on the lead attorney. I don't condone a damn thing he did. It just doesn't. It's common sense, man. You dug yourself into a hole and you're doing damage control. Why would you want to come on the lead attorney? But I like this because we get to expose. 2021 is the year to expose these creeps. R. Kelly's going down, and he might be singing to the DA and getting other people who are in the industry who are also into sex trafficking. So he's not only with R. Kelly going down, others are going down too. And this scum bucket right here, Glendon Cameron, is also going down. I remember I did a reaction video finding out about what the stuff he confessed to, and guess what? One of his followers said, "Oh, you're going to face the wrath of the corporate citizen." I'm like, really? Really?
One of the things.
What's up, Chaos?
And what's good? What's good? I can see the message on the board, is the screen, so I see everything. You could,
yeah, because YouTube is like StreamYard isn't letting me comment for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay, gluttony comment, right?
Huh?
What comment you talking about? Like regular comments?
Yeah, it says can't post comments to share to some destinations. Learn more. I'm like, what? But it does it most of the time. Sometimes I don't know why.
All right, but continue playing this. I did not know this. I mean, damn, I've not been keep up with the lead attorney lately this week because he's been doing so many lengthy streams. If I catch him, but I did not know Glendon Cameron came up personally that is associated with Antoine. Now I know Antoine's trying to do in his best power to disassociate with this dude now that he revealed himself. And I'm saying,
do you know Ron Wells?
Do I know Ron Wells? I heard about Ron Wells, but I don't know him personally.
I mean, he's a pretty cool cat, but it's just like the fact of the matter is like this dude knows him. He's in Glendon Cameron in the video. He said, "Oh, shout out to Ron Wells." I'm like, "Oh no!" I was like, "I wonder if Ron Wells knows about this."
Has anybody subscribed to Ron Wells' channel? I think he has YouTube, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Maybe you should type him up. Well, not right now because you want to finish place, but type him up briefly, see where he's at on YouTube, and check if he's did any response video since somebody's calling his name out.
Yeah, because this is the only Ron Wells I know is, the one that, has a YouTube channel, and he talks about, how to game and stuff like this. So I'll probably send him a reaction video from Antoine and see what he says.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me keep playing.
That I was doing, and like I said, we will see in the future. Will this have a deep impact? And that's a good point that you make about impact, because Disruptive Mail had a serious impact, and I want to duplicate that with this new channel, but I want to separate myself from the other content creators, because you think, once again, you think that's bad, and that's your opinion. I'm not going to have any truck with that. But once again, I have built, because Disruptive Mail was doing really well, and then I started to get a lot of hate. And then I realized that I had built the channel incorrectly. And what I mean by that is,
and this is something that both of you probably will find out if you don't already know it. How you build your channel is how you draw your audience. And
we don't care about the channel. I'm talking about the information that you put out. Why would you tell somebody if they have good parents and stay away from them?
One of the things was called an emancipated teen. And she made her own decisions. What I was saying was, if you're dealing with someone who's still very childlike in the mind, you probably don't want to mess with them. Because, like, I don't know if you got what I sent you. And, you know, if you didn't, I'm not going to worry about it. But one of the things that
I did get it. It was very long, so I didn't get a chance to read it.
Yeah. A girl in high school sent me that. And one of the big things that happened in that video was the lack of assignment of culpability to people for making decisions. And once again, I know y'all going to disagree with me. I'm going to say it anyway. All 16, 17, and 18-year-olds are not the same. There are some that are very childish, really still immature, and there are some who are damn near predators. And one of the things...
The children are predators?
Yes, some of them are.
But you said that you wouldn't consider your behavior or R. Kelly's behavior predator behavior.
Well, if you look at the title of the video, I could have been a
predator. What you said. You said that
I'm talking.
Oh, shit.
Could have been a predator. And I'm going to give you the, like, yeah, I had...
You know, it's going to come... Pause this for a second.
What? Yeah?
Let's pause it. I got fined if I have those articles on my channel on pedophilia and how this government is now putting themselves in positions to really do away with this so-called age consent for predators.
Yeah,
they've been talking about this the last 2 years now, since 2019. And one of your biggest politicians have put their signatures in the hunt, in the race to lower the age of consent so they don't prosecute people that's predatory. I'm telling people right now, not just black people, but people in America generally, that this is coming down the pipe. You're seeing people that's very esteemed, that's either getting caught up or eventually getting caught up, that might do some time in jail or possibly get off. The point is this. Once you see scenarios like this pop up, who are you going to think is going to use the caveat to remove the age consent? Black males. Why I'm saying it's become seen as popped up. I mean, now mind you, he has not suffered no charge yet, but by putting himself on YouTube doing this stupid shit, you're actually brewing a case on yourself. Once the hammer really comes down, they got evidence. There's no money you got, and he's a millionaire, from what I'm looking at Glenn Cameron, that's going to shield you from that, partner. Yeah. So one thing they're going to do, they have found the right ammunition needed to remove the age consent in America. We already know the age consent right now in America, average-wise, is 17.5. Well, I mean, 30 states, 16 years old is when a young girl is old enough to have sex. Other states, few, 17. The other ones are 18. Now, people said it should be 18 across the board. And I said, that's fine. But here's the problem. These are all Eurocentric laws. And Europe, age consent is totally different from America. And what B just told me, and I tried to Google this, Hard Talk Radio, to find, say, where is he talking about age of 12 years old is considered the right age for a young girl to have sex with adults. You get me?
What?
Yeah, he said that. He told me this. And I Googled that. I could barely find it. It did mention something about 12, but it didn't say the age consent, the laws is 12 years of age. It does not shown through the internet. Now, I might not be good with Google, but I could not find it. I couldn't find Wikipedia, and I couldn't find nowhere around that. So if there's something that's hidden, it's probably hidden in some old law book. But right now, for every states across the board, majority states are 16 years of age. You get me? Because 30 out of 50 states is 16 years of age. Some of the East Coast, where we at, I'm not sure what's the age of consent in New York, but do you know?
The thing is like this. I it's an epidemic, man. And
Yeah.
to me personally,
Yeah.
if the person's not 21, you have no business talking to her.
Mhm.
21, you have no business talking to her
Mhm.
because these people here. I mean, this man Glendon Cameron is a fool, just like R. Kelly, and they try to like do these hoteps, these brother polites, these Malachi Z. York, these KRS-One who defended African Bambaataa. These men are scum. Okay,
Mhm.
these men are scum, and this is why the black community will never be able to rise out of the cesspool it is because it's too many times defending men because they have money or they have some talent or they have some charisma or some swag.
Mhm.
And this stuff got to stop.
Mhm.
This is why the black community cannot go back to having their own all black towns and stuff like this. Because one of these days you're gonna have some sicko with charisma, and that's it. He's gonna get a pass because he got charisma because he's liked. And this is how it is. And
Or he has money actually. If he has,
right, he has money, he got a talent,
yeah,
something.
he'll go overshadowing. And that's not the benchmark, for
Right.
morale.
And,
Or
and this affects other cultures too, because in America, you already have an agenda. You got big time professors going on TED Talks trying to normalize pedophilia.
but
See,
they're going to eventually do it anyway because all of these laws, these are all Roman/Eurocentric laws, and they've been doing this for centuries. So what they try to do is because there's so many predators because we're all indoctrinated in this Western culture, they're just going to let them loose and make it easy where they can't prosecute them. Hell, if you think about the alphabet committee, one time their actions was not really legalized until recently for the last decade or so, in with the marriage for the last 6 years. So now once you open doors for them, you actually advocate open doors for what do you call
right,
predators.
right, the predators, yeah, because it's
So
coming down
so
the
so,
pipe.
so people talking about say this thing about the alphabet committee, gays, whatever you want to call it, that is a good thing. No, it's not because now you open a doorway for all the predators. Wait, how do you think people got to that? Became that. This isn't born like that. I don't want people to get out there their head out of the ass. Everybody is conditioned in a certain way to behave a certain way. Period.
Right,
No, I don't want to hear about this thing about science genetics. I tell people those are bullshit. Because when you look at the communities we stand and look at how people act and conduct, if you really sit there and they really tell you their story, it really makes sense why they do what the hell they do. You get me? And it falls in the sword of the community that because of our actions instead of controlling so we don't create more monsters, you're having people just like him feel confident saying that crap in live air and think there's no consequence because you got money. He's gonna rude awakening in the coming months before the end of this year.
yeah, he's gonna have to because the thing is like he thinks those three that mother and two daughters aren't gonna turn on him when the heat comes on her, when CPS come on her doorstep.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like Ron Wills, he mentioned Ron Wills, and he may come under investigation. He may.
Matter of fact, let me go on my computer. Let me find Ron Wills on YouTube, man. Let me find for you something about this. I know this guy got a YouTube channel. Let me do some Googling quickly. Keep playing. Come on, hear more of this. Why I try to find it. See this
all this other stuff, and I would just delete them. I could have easily been a predator if that was my orientation.
Let's talk about this for a second, because you mentioned that there was 15 in your first video. You mentioned that, and you changed it in the second video. So I'm going to get there. But in the first video, you said that there was a 15-year-old. You said, quote, we were just talking and stuff. I just talked to her. She'd send me dirty pictures. She was running, 100 miles an hour, right?
Yes.
And in the second video, you said, well, because now I think we can all agree that's a crime. In Georgia, guys, that's actually
well, I actually never met her. I never chatted. I mean, we talked because I didn't know she was 15 until a little later, and that was one of the issues. So
let me just jump in. What I'm telling you is, if you're talking and getting nudes from a 15-year-old, that is a crime in Georgia. That's the sexual exploitation of children.
Yes,
and it's a felony grade crime, and it goes from 5 to 20.
right? 5 years to 20 years.
And once I found out she was 15, I stopped talking to her. I deleted the pictures.
Gotcha. All right. But still, even if you don't know,
I know. A lot of
Okay,
men have gotten caught up because
No.
they were talking to a girl, they didn't know how old she was, and the law don't care. The law doesn't care.
Right.
And I was like, "You're 15." She says, "But I'll be 16, I think, in May." And I was like, "That doesn't matter. You're 15 now. I can't keep talking to you." And I
wait. Now I'm confused because you're saying, well, when you found out she was 15, then you deleted the pictures and you stopped talking to her. But you
Yes.
said in the second video that she actually wasn't 15. You said that she was 16 and you just lowered the number to make it more polarizing.
Well, I lowered the numbers of the girls and her mother, and not that one because there was many girls, so not that one in particular. But this happened all of the time. I would be talking to a girl and I would find out how old she was, and I was like, okay. And there was a policy. I would just go ahead, block their email.
This dude full of crap. He's just making things up as he goes. He knows he's in hot water. That's what he knows.
Delete their pictures and keep it moving. This happened a lot.
So the 15-year-old that you talked about in the first video, she actually was 15. But when you found out she was 15, then you stopped talking to her and deleted the videos.
Well, I didn't have videos, just pictures.
I'm sorry. You're exactly right. Deleted the pictures.
Yes.
How do you feel about that, Anton?
I think it's nasty. It's so nasty, man. And I think maybe it's, the ironic thing that I'm trying to figure out, because I say this regularly. I say I need to be the man that I would want my daughter to marry, right? I'm a reflection of the thing that I would want my daughter to marry. And I've heard Glendon admittedly say that he has a daughter. And so I'm so confused because TLA, one of the things that you said in the show was that, one of your blind spots,
Pause it for a second.
so to speak, figuratively speaking, was that you don't have kids, right? So you don't
Talk,
understand
you hear me?
to truly love and be passionate about the sons are different. They rough and tumble. You want them to go through stuff or whatever, so on and so forth. I had a young man that I almost adopted. That was my nephew that lived with me. And I wanted to push him. I wanted to go through stuff. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But daughters out of your own, that's yours.
Kids, male, boys, girls, they need to be protected from predators. Period. Boys and girls need to be protected. Period. And this man right here, Glendon Cameron, need to be locked the hell up. Glendon Cameron need to be locked the hell up.
And then you can,
Before you play it, hear me?
justify the idea that you was sitting there in grave detail talking about it ain't nothing like going with a young girl and she's 17 and I did her about 15 times, and even after she told me she was 17, I kept doing it to her, but it was a lot more graphic and all of this stuff. You have a daughter, bro. That don't bother you? Like, even outside of the law, outside of what was, because slavery was once legal, that don't mean that it was right. We're talking about morals and ethics and character. That don't bother.
After I made a live stream about Glendon Cameron, saying what he did, that stuff messed my head up. I had to, there was one point of the video, okay, I gotta cut the stream. I'm done. It was that bad. I only did it because, one, I'm a parent. Two, I'm gonna expose this sick bastard. A lot of YouTubers are doing the same, and I'm joining the charge.
Bother you, bro? Honestly, that you got a daughter?
My daughter and I have a very special relationship. And she kids me. She's like, hopefully you won't be dating someone my age. So my daughter knows who I am. She accepts that, and I accept her. And she makes her own decisions.
Dude is cringy right now. He is cringy as hell.
She tells me she's a virgin. I have no other proof, so I believe it. But once again, I am not one of those men who will impress my impressions upon my offspring, because
from my experiments, from Craigslist, I know kids will do what a lot of different things. A lot of different things.
That's exactly what our role is as a father, to push our impressions on our kids. We want them to be better versions of us. That's what we're supposed to do. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is, all right, I have some friends right now. They have a 16-year-old daughter. They're good people. She is wild as hell. And it isn't because she doesn't have good parents. It is because of who she is. And this is something that a lot of people cannot, well, she had bad parents. She could have had the best parents in the world, and she just turned out to be one of those kids. And there are many, many parents.
We have more kids.
15,
Don't worry about them things.
18-year-old children that they cannot control, they cannot instill, they can't put anything in them. And this is something a lot of people have a hard problem understanding, because everyone reaches an age where they understand what they're doing. And some people reach that age earlier. Some of these kids know exactly what they're doing. They're smoking, they're having sex,
But you just said it, Glenn. You said they're kids. Why would you, as a grown man, be interested in somebody whose brain isn't scientifically, and you know this for a fact, proven to be even developed until their 20s? Why would you take advantage of that as a man that not only is
late 20s,
you have power, you got resources, you got cars, you got all of this stuff that you know are enticing to children? You call them kids out of your own mouth. Why would you even consider that, bro? Why would you consider talking to a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old? Why would you be having conversations with somebody that looks like they're 15 years old?
First of all, now there was some of them who looked like they were 15, 10 years old. I didn't even talk to them. A lot of these girls did not look their age. They didn't look their age. And like when I sent the lead attorney, this came from a 16-year-old girl who looked like she.
I don't care what she looked like. Yeah, 15, 16, 17, they can make decisions. All right. They go off and they take a joyride and they kill somebody in a car. They will be tried for their actions. They can make the choice to want to come try to talk to you. You run because you're a full-grown adult. You know better. I don't want to hear it. The dude is making all types of excuses. He's becoming sickening.
Was 20. All kids don't look the same. There are some kids who look like kids. They're 15.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
You're still describing them as kids, Glendon.
In this
conversation, your own mouth.
In this conversation, you're saying they're kids.
But then you had sex with them.
No, I did not have sex with any children.
Mother.
Oh, so I'm sorry. At what age do you define a girl to not be a kid?
Jesus.
That's a really interesting question, because there could be someone who could be 18 who could still be a kid. Very much childish, very much immature. There could be someone who could be 16, like the one who was 17 that I was messing with. She had her own place, her own car, and a job. I did not know she was 17.
Glendon, you literally advised guys to stay. You said you found a 17-year-old out of your own mouth, word for word. You started doing research on her on social media. You noticed in some pictures that her parents were around and that she had a strong family.
That was a different girl.
It's a different girl. And she had a strong family structure.
I didn't mess with that girl.
But you said that you knew she was 17.
Wait a minute. You said you asked the girl how old she was, right? And she said she would be turning 17 in such and such time in such and such month. Mm-hmm. And Glendon still smashed her. This dude backpedaling now. He's trying to say this is a social experiment. I'm like, man, this ain't no damn social. You really trying to save your brand. That's what he's trying to do.
He's not doing a good job, man. He should have kept his fucking mouth closed.
I mean, I was saying in the reaction video, I said there are things sometimes people do. They keep to their grave. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And he just opening his mouth and just talking. And this is the dude who came from a bad divorce. All his ex-wife got to do is find a good attorney. Who knows? I mean, this dude a whole fool, and he's up here smiling like he trying to get he's smooth, he's not gonna get in no trouble. You heard that question? It's like, well, what's a child to you? Well, that's an interesting question. I mean, she had her own job, she had a car. I didn't know she was 16. It doesn't. You found out. She said she's going to turn 17 in such and such day and such and such month. I'm like, why didn't you run? Why didn't you push her out the car? And then he's talking about there's nothing like having a woman who's never been touched. I'm like, what? And sometimes you have MGTOWs that be like that. Oh, I want a virgin. I want a woman that, you know, who's never been touched by a man. Okay, go to a different country. Oh, that's too far, man. It's like, I hate to say, but he sounds like some of those MGTOWs. Not all of them are like that, but he sounds like some of those MGTOWs that, you know, they sound like they want things easy in life. That's what I'm saying. They don't want to go and do things the right way. Like if you want a virgin, you'll go to a country where patriarchy is strong, and you marry the girl, and either you take over to your homeland, or you stay in her homeland and you make a life for yourself and her. Just sounds like a whole weirdo to me. You sound like a real weirdo.
17 and you did research on her and you found out that she had a strong family structure because she was taking pictures with her parents, and that's one of the things that you decided that prompted you to leave her alone. That is predator. You're hunting. That is predator behavior, bro. That is literally the definition of
leaving her alone is a predator. I mean, I want you to
listen. But you only left her alone because she had a strong father and mother in the picture with her.
Dude, you don't know how predators operate, and that's a very strong word. Predators.
Last time I checked, a predator is a hunter, right? And a predator does not go and hunt for prey if that prey is protected. That's what's called preying on a person, or a predator preying on a lower animal. Help me out here, Chaos. I mean, am I wrong here?
A predator is a predator at the end of the day, and a man that's sitting there with a smile on his face, like Glendon is saying, you know, these kids are getting cars, they're driving, they're smoking. Okay, I get it. Now, is he from Georgia? Glendon right now? He's in
Georgia, yeah.
What's the age of consent in Georgia? Because
I'm not sure.
Weird shit going. See, one thing, because we are up in the East Coast. I'm not knocking down South, but there's a lot of weird, crazy shit down there in Georgia, man. I don't know if that's the state black people should be harboring over. To be fair, honest.
I just look at it like, I mean, how are you talking like this? And it's just foolish shit. I'm just looking at him, and I'm just like, are you serious? Are you serious? The age of consent in Georgia is 16 years old. Therefore, a 16-year-old is a consenting adult in the eyes of Georgia law and can engage in sexual activity. However, believing that someone is 16 is not the same as them being 16 years old. Sex crime accusations can have devastating effects on your future. So, in layman's terms, stay the hell away from 16-year-old girls. That's pretty sums it up to me. Or if you're a woman, stay away from 16-year-old boys. I don't know how hard is that. It's not hard to understand. That's all I got to say, man. Just
But what's your definition of a predator? How do predators move? Because I will be honest, it does sound like when you're saying, hey guys, you know, the ones that are close to their parents, those aren't the ones you want. You know, when you say, oh, well,
I was doing research on this girl, or I was doing research on that girl. It does kind of, to do research on a girl, it does sound a little bit predatorish. But you have been steadfast in saying that that's not a predator. Kind of, how do you define a predator, and how do you identify a predator's moves?
I will define a predator. I used to work at Scottish Rite, and I have seen some of those pictures you have seen of the forcible rape. I've seen that. We had this 8-year-old girl come in who was raped by her father. To me, that is predator behavior. Rape, they don't care. And also, we work with social work.
Predator forcible.
No. Let me go with it.
Okay.
Forcible is actually worst case scenario. And when you hang out in schools, when you go to arcades, when you're looking for young girls, and this is the thing, I never did that. They came to me.
That was based off of an ad that you put out. You literally put the ad out. They didn't just see you walking down the street and you just turned them down. You took out an ad. What are you talking about?
I took out several ads.
This man he tries to absolve himself from every bit of responsibility in the situation. The guy makes me sick. I commend Anton Daniels for having so much composure and patience. It couldn't be me. Because I would have been dropping F-bombs. I would have been, just like, listen, just, cut the shit. You know what you did. That's would have been me.
Oh, that makes it greater. Jesus Christ.
Well, all right, so,
honestly, Glenn, man to man, just listen. You don't see anything that don't make sense in this conversation? Honestly.
Well, nothing in this conversation is going to make sense to you because of the way that you think.
No, I'm asking you personally. I
the
know
way that he thinks.
I'm asking you, do you, like when you go to sleep at night and you think about the video that you put out, or forget the video, the behavior that do you go to bed with a clear conscience, like, you know what, everything is on the up and up, everything is good. None of this bothers you at all whatsoever.
I will say the person that I was 20 years ago, no, it doesn't bother me at all. And there's more, and there will be more stuff on that channel. But one of the things is I was having these experiences, and it wasn't like that many. It wasn't like 20, 30. It wasn't that many. I was in a different state of mind back then, and I was doing, as the elite attorney said, all kinds of shit. So I never forced anyone to do anything. I never took any advantage. I never lied to anyone. So yeah, my conscience is clear. I never forced myself on anyone, and I gave them options to leave, and they didn't leave. So no, I don't.
You literally said.
Wait, hold on. Now let's talk about this. Let's talk about the second.
Lead, I need a break, bro. Honestly, I need a break, bro.
Let's talk about the second incident where you were talking about you were kind of propositioned to be a bull, right? Which is a huge thing in Atlanta. I don't know if you guys, of course you know, Linda, but a lot of the people in the chat that don't know, if you're a black guy and you're 6 foot, you could absolutely be hunted in Atlanta. And some nice white woman, 44 years old, will come up to you and say, hey, do you want to come over and get the hot tub? And she's there with her husband, so you think it's all good. Go over to their house and see what happens, right? It will be all.
There's a whole community of that. There's
a whole community of poly in Atlanta, whole community of swingers. And Atlanta is for real, right? And so you talked about this one. And listen, it seems like between the consenting adults, there's no problem with it. Everybody go to town in Atlanta, fine. You mentioned this one incident where you were interacting with a mother who had a 16 and 17-year-old, and the mother was sending you photos of the 16 and 17-year-old, and so you went over there. So you went over there, and basically, the mother pulled out your penis and started sucking it, and then had the daughters suck it. And, a lot of people were like, damn, because even though the 16 and the 17-year-old are over 15, right? It's still a crime. Both you and the mother are committing crimes in that instance because the children are under 18. And they're not as harsh as the child exploitation crimes. But they're still children under the law. They're called minor children. And now you kind of clarified this and you changed it in the second video, but we're going to talk about that. But in the first video, when you were saying that, you guys were all having sex in the same room, what hit me is, number one, the mother needs to be in jail, first of all, I can't imagine a mother taking your penis out of her mouth and then putting into her 16-year-old daughter's mouth. That's outrageous. And I've represented children who had some shitty mothers, and that is a shitty mother, number one. If she has sexual fantasies and pleasures, that's fine. She does not need to involve her kids. Number two, all the guys were like, where in the hell is the father, right? And I see so much where women are just given primary physical custody of these kids, and the fathers only get to see their kids every other weekend. And I'm, again, as Anton said, as Blind Guy, his wife, their life said, I'm not a father. But I cannot imagine if I fought to get 50-50 custody and that judge denied me and said, no, this is the mother. And then that mother has my 16-year-old and 17-year-old sucking random dick. Oh, I mean, as a non-father, I can't imagine it, right? But then you went on in that first video to talk about how the 16 and 17-year-old, they were virgins, and how the 16-year-old was saying that it hurt. Like, it hurt. And the mom was like, oh, we're going to open up that.
That's when I had to cut the reaction video short. When I did a reaction video on this piece of shit, Glendon Cameron. You still there, Chaos?
Yeah, I'm here, man. It's how long Leah Turner had Glendon up there? Did you get? I'm not sure this first time you watched it, because I said, I did not watch.
This is my first time watching it. This is my first time watching this, and it's like that part right there is what seared my brain, and it's like I can't watch anymore. I couldn't watch anymore at the time.
The issue with all this is how he's telling the story that the mother that advocates and pushes his daughter to not only she's like engaged in sexual acts, but see up here. I don't know what he said that he let the daughter suck his cock, took the cock out of his mouth, and put. It reminded me of those porn flicks when the mother and daughter right there with this one male, and the mother is just having her way with the male, and then ship her get the daughter and say, "Come here, let me show you something. I want you to do this." Shove her daughter's face into the man's cock. That's what that comes to. I'm thinking, this is a dirty fucking bitch. This is why when we talk about you must give your children to the father, I'm not lying. And I only said that for the boys, but I might have to make an exception to this rule and say maybe as a mother, because some of y'all, you're really not unfit and y'all don't really have the patience to really raise these children, maybe you should give the full custody to the father, you know what I'm saying, and pay him child support. Because
I think the mother needs to go to jail. She needs to go to jail, and she needs to do hard time with those other hardened female inmates, because this stuff right here is what turns women into cold-hearted, evil demons. Because when a child is molested, you ever dated a woman who's been molested? It's like they're fragile. They're very fragile. They're either very fragile or they're very hardened, and they're hardened individuals because their innocence was taken away. And this piece of shit, Glendon Cameron, wants to come up here and try to pull all these schemes like, oh, this was just a social experiment. Oh, I was just trying to get a reaction from Antoine Daniels. Antoine Daniels is livid. If I was Antoine, it'd be like I said, it'd be very hard for me to keep my composure to just hear this nonsense. I would be like, listen, you're a sick bastard. You know what you did. You're just here because you're trying to save face, because you know what you put yourself in a hole, and sooner or later, people are going to come for you. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's just, and you got people defending him, and that pisses me off. You clearly heard this man. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going.
Yeah.
A crazy story. Now, in the second video, to be fair, in the second video, you said, well, actually, they weren't 16 and 17, both of which are crimes, right? And not only for you, but also for the mom. But they were 18 and 19, which takes them out of the minor child category. So now it's all game, right? But I want to ask you as a man, because I typically review celebrities who make really risky decisions, sometimes bad decisions. To be a man of your stature and to have so much, to go to a random house where you don't know what the hell is going on. You don't know if anybody's waiting in the closet for you. You don't know if these white women are going to scream rape. How is it that a man of your stature can participate in such risky behavior?
Well, first of all, that's not something I would do today. So I do get your point. I would not do that today. 20 years ago, it was a different time. Now that I think about it, nothing ever happened for me doing these escapades. Nothing ever happened. But thinking about it, it could have, because I did this. I would show up at their house and things went well for me, but they could have been bad. I feel like I have a guardian angel because I did a lot of stuff. Like 20 years ago, I was a different person than I am today. And like today, I have so much to lose. I would never do anything like that. I wouldn't. And it's changed because
He makes no sense. He sounds so dumb right now. He sounds so stupid right now. I have a lot to lose. So why are you opening your mouth about this stupidest thing you've ever done? I don't get it.
I'm not going to get into it on this show, but there's a lot more that went down, way more. And folks who were watching the Disruptive Mail know about some of these things. So I feel that as I got older, because there was some other stuff that happened that kind of changed my behavior. I didn't get in trouble or nothing. It's just I will share this.
Were these negative things? Because it might help to share. Because I want to share. Okay, because we have a lot of 25-year-old, 27-year-old black men in the chat. Some of whom really follow you, and they're looking at me. They're looking at you. They're looking at Anton for guidance because a lot of these young men, didn't grow up with fathers in the home. And so it's helpful to talk about some of the negative things that have helped shape the man that you say you are now, right? And not just give them all the crazy stories, but also some of the risks.
This is one. I'm going to bring it on the channel the other night, but one married woman I was messing with, her husband went to her phone. He got my address and he showed up at my house with a gun. He wanted to shoot me. And I invited him in and I poured him a drink and we sit down to discuss his wife. Craziest thing that ever happened. And that didn't actually stop me. It just kind of, because, he left. He didn't shoot me. But now looking back, I was like, that was crazy as hell. Like, once again, I was such a different person 20 years ago.
Were you on drugs back then? Or how is it? Like, how old were you back then?
20 years ago, I was 34.
Okay, I'm just trying to get a person to speak on the other live stream. So they're trying to come on. I'm trying to get them to come on.
I've never done a drug in my life. I don't even drink. It was just, you mentioned the swingers, and I was part of that lifestyle. And
okay, Miss America USA, are you able to speak?
It sucks you in. And I actually had to take a year off where I just didn't have sex, didn't engage with anyone to calm down because I felt that I was getting out of control.
Okay. Connected to Miss America. Hello, Miss America. Okay, she's sending a message. Miss America liked the show. Okay, but can you speak on the show? All right.
What? So is somebody on the panel?
It's on another panel. Like I have two live streams going on right now, and
Oh
I'm
wow!
trying to get her to talk.
So you're having two devices running, or you could do it on one computer.
One computer. It's like one computer. I have two. Like I got the StreamYard going, and I got the Podbean going.
Okay.
So I'm trying to see if I could get her to come to talk because she wants to. She asking if she could come on, and I'm trying to get her to to come on. Connect to Miss America. All right, maybe let me see. What's her email? Okay, let me see something here. You're speaking in the mic? All right. Well, my mic is open. What's going on? I like the show. Miss America. Can you hear me? No, I can't hear you. Co-host and speakers. Invite, enter. All right. Let me ask her email. What's your email? It's buffering. All right. Yeah. So I put on Podbean so people could talk to me at the same time. Okay. All right. Okay. Got this. All right. Invite a speaker. Okay. Hold on. Invite. All right. I sent your invitation. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Speaker. Can I hear you now? No, can't hear you. Can't hear you yet. Miss America. Hit the refresh button. See how that goes. Oh boy. All right, she entered the live studio, but can she hear me? Hello, Miss America. Send again. All right, it's buffering. Shoot. I don't know why it's buffering like this. Let's see. Hold on. Great. Now you can't hear him. I can hear you. Can you hear me now? I can't. What is going on? Let's see here. All right, let's get on now. Okay, look at here.
So, thank you so much for showing up, Anton. And I think, let me see if I can pull you back up right here.
Okay, we're back.
All right. Glendon, is that better? Let me see. Testing. Is that better? Yes, that's much better. Okay. That's much better. Thank you so much. Listen, thank you so much, guys, for joining the stream. That experiment, everything was true except for the ages that you change. But
Hold on a minute, because we already passed that. Here we go.
all right, guys, moving right along. Oh, let me pull up my man. I think this is the first time he's on the stream. Let's get him on here.
Hold on 1 second. I think we went past a little bit.
I did. In the video, that was an experiment.
How awesome it was, and then when you found out her age and you found out she was still 17 and she wasn't 18 yet, you kept going.
Man.
You admittedly said, "I love young girls," word for word. That's what you said. Was it a lie? Because if it is, then you told it.
And to be clear, you did say that the video was an experiment, but you also said in that experiment everything was true except for the ages that you changed. But you didn't say, when I said I love young girls or I love young pussy or that whatever, you didn't say that. I do like young women. 28 to 32. I am 54 years old. I do like them. I don't like teenagers because one of the things is you can't really talk to a teenager. They don't have no life experience. Here's the thing, because you described R. Kelly's appetite. And, I thank you for this because you said in that video, you said the normal man does not have that appetite. And I think that's something that a lot of women need to hear, right? We're not going to cast, what's going on in the kink community to all men, right? No, but what R. Kelly did, most men can't get with that. Right. But what you did say is that you kind of have that appetite. And you said, and this is a quote, there is something special about fucking a young girl that doesn't have a lot of miles on it. Now, and this is not a shot at any 28-year-olds. 28-year-olds in Atlanta got a lot of miles on them, right? It's not a shot. It's not a shot, but it's true. It's true. So let's be honest, Glendon. I will share some with you. I managed to meet 4 millionaires through these ads, and I managed to meet many women who were 20-something to 30-something that didn't have a lot of miles on them. Because, it was crazy because I was like, you're 32 and you've only been with 3 men? It is crazy. So during these exploits, if you will, I learned a whole bunch about women. And that's one of the reasons I feel that the Disruptive Male channel was so popular and was so impactful. And once again, I deleted those channels, but I didn't put them up. But I never talked about this stuff. And, once again, it's just an experiment. We will see how bad it goes. Because like I think part of it is it didn't go as big as I thought it would, which, this is why you run experiments. And this is something I've done my whole YouTube career. I put out content just to see how people react. And once again, we will see. Because I also have my own platform, the disruptivemale.org. And there is none of this stuff on this training platform. None of this stuff. So this is the first time in 12 years I even talked about it. Which, if it was a habit or a pattern, I think it would have came out long before now. Let me ask you, you said that this experiment didn't go as well as planned. So what would you have changed in your first video to make it go as well as planned? No, I don't know. I haven't thought about that because one of the things I'm going to do is not do content like that anymore. And I'm going to, because one of the things I learned is that when you tell a story, you got to tell the story the correct way. And I did a poor job of telling that story because I didn't talk about this was 20 years ago. I didn't talk about none of that stuff. So that's one of the things I learned. I probably will not repeat this experiment. There's just no point because it did what it did, and I will just try some other experiments. So I would not redo this one. It makes no sense to redo it.
Glendon, you don't think that you being a platform, having a large voice and a platform and a content creator, that you need to be more responsible for how you affect other people, negative or positive?
I do feel overall that I have a very positive impact on people. And every now and then I will take a risk, and this was a risk. So overall, the majority of the content I put out is helpful, useful, and mundane. So this is one of the reasons that, much to a lot of people's irritation, that so many people rock with me, because I've literally helped thousands of people start businesses. And
but you know, character without morals or principles, money doesn't make you a better person. It just makes you more of what you already are.
Yeah, money's an amplifier. I agree 100% with that. And once again, I've done crazy. Look, I've done crazier stuff than this, and this is what's wow. This is just the first one that hit like this. I've done crazier stuff than this, not with little girls, but just business and videos and content.
So is it fair to say this is probably just the tip of the iceberg, though, Glendon? Like, for example, like you admitted to sleeping with the 17-year-old and all of this other type of stuff. I'm assuming that you slept with more than just that one 17-year-old, right?
No, it is not the tip of the iceberg. Typically, those were, I would say, exceptions, because most of the high school girls were young and immature and had no appeal to me. So, like I said, the majority of the women that I had these escapades with were between 28 and 32.
Yeah, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that that was the only high school girl that you ever slept with, though, Glendon. I mean, if we're gonna keep it 100, then keep it 100.
We can keep it 100.
But we're here now.
That actually, I think that is, because the two girls with the mother were in college. So,
Glendon,
yeah.
you went into grave detail. You have a really good memory. You went through.
Well, no.
So now you're trying to say,
storyteller.
You know what? I don't know.
No. I'm a great storyteller. Because when you can tell a story that moves people the way that this did, and it wasn't true, I'm a great storyteller. And I need to get back to telling more stories. Because you're 100% convinced that
No. I'm honest. I want some clarity. I'm genuinely looking for clarity because I feel like I'm being bamboozled, right? Are you telling me the 17-year-old is the only high school girl you've ever slept with in your entire life as an adult?
Yes. But once again, I'm a great storyteller because, first of all, a lot of the stuff in that was embellished a little bit. And what I did was marry some real experiences with some embellishment. And I'm just sitting here like, I realized that I could tell a totally fictitious story and it be believed.
You said everything in there was true, though, Glendon. You said everything that you said
was true, but the ages were not true. Yes.
Bullshit.
But the 17-year-old age was true.
Yes, I did not know.
The 15-year-old age was true.
The one I didn't mess with. The one that
you got pictures from. That was true.
Yeah. And once I found out she was 15, I deleted the pictures and I stopped talking to her. Look, I'm in Georgia, and I know that just talking to some of these girls could have put me in jail. This I knew. And that's once I found out how old they was, I just stopped talking and deleted the pictures and removed them from my computer and kept it moving. There are many people who say I'm a pedophile, which is kind of interesting because if they knew the true definition of pedophile, pedophiles don't change. They don't date older women.
But you do identify with R. Kelly, and you said that the only difference between you and him was that he had people go out and get his girls for him.
Once again, that was part of the embellishment.
But then you said that everything in the video is true except for the other girls' ages.
R. Kelly is beyond kinky. And I will say I have some of that energy because some of the things I participated in, I'm not going to get into it here, was just kind of wild. It was kind of wild. And R. Kelly was doing the wildest things. But I did not have this passion that R. Kelly had for young girls. I didn't have that.
So you saying that you was lying in the video?
I just told you I embellished. If you want to use lie, embellish. I lied about their ages. And I added more character and effect. And this is something else that you guys don't know about. I used to be a writer, and I've written some crazy stories. So I'm going to get back to more storytelling.
Lindsay, I guess, and as a new content creator, or relatively new content creator, especially as compared to you guys, how is it that you can make videos where you say that you embellish, and then you turn around and make another video and expect people to believe what you're saying in the next video?
Well, this is one of the things, because this is something I don't do all of the time. This is actually the first. And one of the things that I've learned is, and you guys have learned this too, that
Chaos, you believe anything he says?
What you say?
Do you believe anything that's coming out of Glendon Cameron's mouth right now?
Man, Glendon Cameron made a target and put some on his back that he shouldn't be doing. And now, my thing is this. Okay, he did these little videos just to draw attention. My biggest question is this the attention that you want, Glendon? I mean, really, do you really want to put yourself in this spot at a Me Too, at an age of Me Too, cancel culture, all that? And I'm gonna tell you a little secret, hard talk. I didn't know Glendon Cameron, that certain people that's talking about this guru, this guy was a black man. I thought it was some non-black man. I didn't know until just a few days ago. Because you know me, I don't really investigate certain people that people tell me I should look into. Because my thinking, how I think is, okay, if your joke is so effective, right? Why don't see more people be millionaires like you? I'll wait. You get me? So, it's always a Ponzi scheme with like these people that's on the internet, bro. So you gotta be careful.
Well, the thing is like this man went off and tried to say it's a social experiment. I watched him talk, and he was describing in detail everything. The man was not lying. The man, this was real. He actually did this crap, man.
Yeah, I know, and he feels proud of it. And looking at you saying, "What's wrong with you? Why are you criticizing me? I'm not doing nothing wrong. Mind your fucking business." That's how these dudes think. You get me? They look at Danny and tell you, "Say, mind your fucking business." What can you do with somebody like that when they tell you straight in your face, "Mind your fucking business"? I don't know, man.
The thing is, they invest in some things to make them go away. That's what I say. Invest in some things to make them go away. That's what I would say.
That shit can't go away, bro.
Huh?
That's not going away. Whatever he's saying is bullshit. It's not going away. Can't go away.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, what he's saying is complete. He's trying to, like I said, he losing his brand, and damage control is on the way. That's what's happening. Miss America, did you happen to get my email to have you come up on the YouTube live stream? Let's see if you got it.
Are people having a hard time? Is it a man or woman trying to get on the panel?
Woman.
Do you vet this person good?
I just told them they have to, just be respectful when they come up,
Okay.
That's all I gotta say.
So
That's,
why are they figuring it out? Are they having a hard time with the devices? What's going on?
I don't know. I think it's maybe the internet connection, but I sent her I sent her the link to her email, the
Is she in the
StreamYard
studio?
link. Huh?
Is she in the studio right now? Is she in the back chat? Back studio?
Yeah, she's in the chat. She's in the back chat.
All right. I come see her put a message in the private chat to see if she's up there.
Okay, let me see.
So let's send a message.
Oh, she's here. She's here. She's here. Hold up. She's here.
And one thing, remove this. Remove my name on the StreamYard. Take this
Hold
down.
on a minute. How do I do that? How do I take it off?
Are you should be on
Right
stream.
here. Hide. Okay. Yep.
All right, bring her up. Let's let somebody else talk. Can we talk?
Yeah. All right. They will need to connect their mic and cam before you can add them to the stream. Miss America, I need you to have a mic. Hello?
And she on her, and that's why it's always good to let her know. So if you're in the private chat, just let us know if you're using a desktop or your cell phone. Because usually when you're on your cell phone, you know the drill. You make sure you hit the echo. Well, I don't know. I can't tell that because if she never done this before, it's gonna be tricky.
All right, she's on her cell phone. Okay.
All right, good. So just hit connect. If just follow the prompt. There's a mic and there's a camera. They give you.
So just hit the camera or hit the mic. Hit the mic. Hit the mic button.
Yeah, but before she hit the mic, she has to hit the join because it said join in where you can see it back there.
All right, hit the join. Hit the join button.
Yeah, if I can remember, good. Let me double check because sometimes I get misconception on here. Give me 1 second. I just gotta make sure how to do this again. Even if you guys already know this, right? I do StreamYard so many times. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Let me go up here. Give them the basic instructions. Let me find your video. Where is it? Oh, what the hell? Let me go on Facebook.
All right. So on the cell phone, right? Can they how will they be able to use the mic from the cell phone?
I'm doing that now. I'm just looking through the steps again. I should really say it's off the head, but all right. This is how it works. I'm clicking on it. It says enter studio. Did she hit the enter studio button?
Hit enter studio button.
And once she's in the studio, you'll be able to bring her up.
Okay, she just came off the screen. Let's see.
I don't know why people have a hard time with tech, man. Tech should be simple, man. It's a little not
sometimes tech can be a little.
Because the device is not connected. I mean, when she came out, she said she don't want to use no mic or video. She can't do that. The minute she hit the StreamYard link, you must accept all. Once you're in the back chat, you could easily now select to open your mic or turn off your camera. So she did somehow. She has to come back out, hit back the StreamYard link again, and she has to accept all. You get me? Because remember, if you use your iPhone, they're going to ask you certain features. So you had to accept all. Tell her that.
Okay. All right. So I told her to come back on, hit the StreamYard link to come back on, and what?
Because with certain cell phones, they vary. Android is simple. You just hit the StreamYard. You might make a name, and you just sit there. You give yourself a name. You don't hit no device. If it's asking, it must allow. You must allow it. Once you allow it, then hit Enter Studio. Because if you don't do that, it's not going to connect the device. If you hit Enter.
Okay, what type of phone do you have? Oh, she's still
iPhone,
there.
you probably use Safari or Google.
What type of phone do you have?
And maybe we should keep playing. Kind of want the stagnant, the air.
All right, all right, let's just keep playing the video. She still comes on to come on.
Want no quiet noise.
You have very short memories. You could do one thing one month, and next month do something totally different. And most people will just go with it. So I don't do this often. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever done this, and we will see what the results are in 6 months. But if you had it all over to do again, knowing how this turned out, would you run this same experiment? Probably not.
Why
Probably
not?
Well, one of the things is, let me think about that. I consider the failed experiment. So, knowing what I know now, I would not repeat this. It didn't do what I wanted to do.
That's what I guess I'm asking though. Like, how would you change it to make it do what you wanted it to do? Would you make it more polarizing?
I would not do it all over again. I wouldn't make it polarized. I just, because one of the things I learned when you run an experiment,
not that you would do it again. Just, hypothetically, for this video to do what you wanted it to do, what would you change? Not that you're going to do it again, but just hypothetically, what would you change in that first video to make it do what you wanted it to do?
I wouldn't even consider redoing the video, even from a hypothetical standpoint, because once I get real data and I have real data to look at, that's how I make my decision. So I wouldn't even hypothetically consider redoing this video.
Do you have anybody in your inner circle? I got a lot of people around me, including my wife, that always hold me accountable. When she see me going off the deep end on something, she's like, hold on, Anton, let's think about this for a second. Do you have anybody close to you that you rely on as a part of your network? And they say, yo, Brandon, I don't know if that's a good idea.
I have, so if you call that, but I don't typically run my business moves across or in front of my counsel. So, I've had a few friends who...
Oh, no, I'm not talking about business. I'm talking about the decisions that you make in your everyday life. I don't care about the business aspect of it. We both successful. We both cut from different cloths, clearly. I'll give you that part, right? But as far as how we move in our everyday life, you don't have nobody that you glean from or you keep close to you, and it's like, you know what? Hold on, Wyndham, man. Maybe that's wrong or maybe that's right. You don't have nobody next to you that holds you accountable?
My everyday life is pretty damn boring. So I've got some people I talk to, but I don't typically run my YouTube decision makings across other people. So for YouTube and business,
no, not YouTube. I consider YouTube business. I'm talking about like just life outside of the camera.
Yeah,
what do you base your morals and your characters and your character and your ethics off of? If you have nothing to compare it to, how do you determine whether or not you're right or wrong, or you're making a right or wrong?
Hello? Did he drop?
individuals that do things that are morally bankrupt and go about doing things, and they think that money is the thing that validate them, or numbers, or subscribers, or visibility.
Okay, you hear me?
They can run any kind of experiment.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Accountability of how they affecting other people. I think that with more power comes more responsibility, and that for far too long, good people are being too quiet. And it's one of the reasons why I'm so vocal when it comes to making sure that you align with people of good character. When I live my life like an open book, I put that on a platform because I want people to see an example of what it is that you can do when you do things the right way. You ain't got to cut no corners. You ain't got to do nobody wrong. You ain't got to take advantage of nobody. You don't have to sleep with people that's underage, or in my personal opinion, not as it relates to the eyes of the law, right? But as it relates to just doing the right thing when nobody else is looking. And I think that Glendon is so confident, and he's been getting away with doing what he want to do for so long, and he's so brazen in how he moves that he feels like he's untouchable. But I'm just going to tell you, Glendon, one day, honestly, and this is just my personal opinion, one day, I don't know if it's going to be the last day you on this earth. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow. One day, you're going to have to be accountable for the things that you did on this earth. You're going to have to be accountable. You're going to have to own every little girl that you slept with. It's going to come back to you. And I just pray. I pray, honestly. I fell on my knees. I told my followers this morning, I said, I prayed for you. I genuinely petitioned God on your behalf, and I said, show this man himself. Help him to understand how he can do things differently. And in some way, shape, or form, bless him to use this platform to actually pour into this world, instead of leaving it worse as a result of him being here. Man, you got to do better. You got to do better. We have a platform, and that comes with more responsibility. People look up to you. They love you. They support you. They rock with you. And I truly believe that you can do the right thing. But as of right now, if you continue on the path that you're doing, it's just leading to more destruction of more people, and you're going to have to account for that one day. That's it. That's all I got, bro.
Okay. Thank you so much, Anton. Really appreciate it. And
hey, keep doing your thing, Lead. I'm out. I'm rocking out, bro.
No problem. Thank you. And thank you also as well, Glendon. What you have any kind of closing remarks?
Well, to echo on that, I'm accountable to my students. I'm accountable to the people in my life. So there is a lot of accountability. And looking at my track record, 12 years, one video doesn't define a person. And that's what I think a lot of people are trying to do. So I appreciate the invitation. I appreciate the conversation. Like, I don't hate Anton or anything. I'm not going to make any more videos. What I'm going to do is just continue to do the work I was doing before. That's all. That's what I'm going to do. Because I love helping people. And I'm going to make The Lost Kings the best male content channel I can make it. I'm doubling down. And, I don't reach out or tag a lot of people anymore because I didn't really like that strategy. It didn't feel good to me. So that's pretty much it. That's what I'm going to do. I appreciate you having me on the show. It was good talking to you.
And, no problem. I want to thank you again for giving us your time and coming on and being fairly open and giving us kind of how you view things. And hopefully the people in the chat have been able to pick up some lessons, especially the ones who are starting new YouTube channels. Maybe the one of the biggest lessons that they can learn from this is that, the experiment that you ran, we'll call it an experiment. You said that, basically it didn't work and that you wouldn't run it again. And so this is not the way to launch your channel. This is not the way to get views. Is that right?
Pretty much. But once again, like I said, I'm a risk taker. I will take a risk. And if it turns out bad, I'll live with it.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. Well, listen, thank you so much again, Glendon, and thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm going to drop you down, but again, thank you. You didn't have to come up here, and I really appreciate that you did.
All right. You have a good day.
Thank you, you too. All right. What do you guys think? Thank you so much for all of the super chats. Of course, I wanted to acknowledge them, but I didn't want to interrupt. This
this was an important conversation, and it went a lot better actually than it could have otherwise gone. This could have easily went off the rails, but I think it speaks to really both Glendon and Anton that they were able to have an extremely civil conversation about some very explosive issues, and they were able to keep it civil, while at the same time not seeing eye to eye really on anything. And this is really a lesson for us in the manosphere as well. A lot of times we're not going to agree with one another, and the shouting and the name calling and getting all boisterous is not going to resolve anything. So I really love the way that these two brothers were able to talk about some behavior that's, I mean, let's be honest, it's sick behavior. Now, I think Glendon also said, that was in my past. That was a long time ago. I was on some other stuff, and I would not do that today, which is good, right? Because the less people who engage in that type of risky behavior, certainly the better. But I do want to thank them both for their time and for keeping it above board, because again, this conversation could have went off the rails from the jump. So thank you to those men. The panel is open. I'm going to open up the panel. And I've got some people in the back already. I want, and of course, anybody's invited. I'm taking everybody. But especially if you agree with Glendon, come up and let's see what you think. What kind of some of the points that you were making. Again, I was listening to a content creator yesterday, and they were 100% on Glendon's side. So I would love to kind of hear their take. What does Sean say? Lead, why are you acting like these are two sides of the story? Glendon is a sick individual. I don't believe for 1 minute that he made the story up. Listen, Sean, I hear what you're saying. Just because a side of a story is sick doesn't mean it's a side of a story. All right? You can have an apple and half of it is good and half of it is rotten. But the rotten side is still a side. Right? There are a lot of good people in the world. There are a few great people, and then there's a few people who are doing sick things. But the people who are doing sick things have their perspective as well, and we need to hear it. And I'll be honest with you, Sean. Hearing people's sick stories helps you, especially if you have children. Especially, you need to know how some of these people move. And to be fair, Glendon says he doesn't move that way anymore. Fine. But this is a lesson, it's okay to feel indignant. It's okay to feel enraged. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that you can learn from this. I'm saying it in a less obvious way than Anton. Anton's like, listen, guys, he's giving you the damn playbook. He's giving you the play. That's what Anton says. You can absolutely learn from this. You can be indignant. You can be irate. You can be enraged. All of those feelings are justified when you start
Hard Talk Radio.
Yeah, what's up?
You sleep, man. I think it's done. We could probably get final thoughts to this, man.
Yeah, I was gonna try and hear the other part, man. I was gonna hear what these other people wanted to say. That's the thing.
Damn. I'm gonna jump down, man, because it's a little late now. I'm trying to get some rest, though. But I gave my input and my take. At the end of the day, Glenn and Cameron put a target in his back. So,
I mean, people are going to be shitting on him for a long time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
People are going to be shitting on him for a very, very long time. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. He tarnishes his legacy, man, with this shit. And it comes to a point where when people make money and this is the internet, People think that people just going to just sweep this by. Only a few content creators that's on the internet are successfully able to rebrand themselves, and people don't know nothing about their past. But when it comes to sexual deviance like this, it's hard to expunge, my dude.
You can't expunge that at all. It's like you put
Yeah,
this on the internet, it's forever. I mean, Antoine
you
already
know,
put it in a
people make
reaction video.
content
I did
on
a
it.
reaction video. I'm not taking it down
Yeah.
for
Uh-huh.
nothing. I don't care how much money he would try to pay me. I ain't taking it down. And none of the other content creators are going to take it down either. And they better not, because if they do, they're going to be outed and they're going to be blasted for it. So,
Yeah. And if you look at the long term effects that we know a lot of content creators, and I this is my thing. A lot of women are going to eat this up. They're going to say black men are degenerate deviants. They're going to say we shouldn't have them around, all this stupid shit. The Kalama are self hating at its nature. But I want people to understand that there are a set of people of any influence forever. You just don't take their word verbatim. If they put out a product that's good, you keep it at that. But regardless of their character, if they reveal that they're very deviant and proud of it, and they say they don't give a fuck about your feelings, it makes you have to make a decision. Do you want to still support these people or not? And it comes down to the consumer. Now I know most male consumers are going to still support what's the name, Glennie Cameron, some in this space, and other red pill MGTOWs, where they might say something, they might support them or not. But my thing is
well,
this:
if they do, I want no parts of them. I want
I
no
know,
parts of them.
I know, and I'm telling you why some of them will support, because they look at this dude like anything else. There's nothing really wrong, and they think it's all good. There's nothing. It's no big deal. And I'm saying, my thing at the end is stay away from any person, man or woman, especially females, that's fucking around with underage kids. Same thing with the dudes. Same energy applies for the females. 'Cause a lot of females are out here now messing with underage kids, and a lot of women are not giving a pushback. And I think as a culture, as a group of people, we need to just put a foot down on all of it. You get me? And we're gonna stay firm. Say these are a set of people you don't engage or entertain. Once you know what they are, you stop engaging. It's that simple. Why would you want to put yourself at risk? So that's all I'm gonna say. That's my
To
thoughts
me, it's
reaction.
just like, I mean,
Mhm.
I remember back in the day, there
Mhm.
was a group called NAMBLA, right? I heard it back in the 70s, right? 70s
Yeah.
and 60s. And they marched for have the right for adults to be with kids. And it was a united front of the Catholic priests,
Mhm.
it was a united front of pastors, it was a united front of anybody. They picked up sticks and stones and beat the hell out of those people and
Mm.
chased them out of town, chased them off
Mm.
the park,
Mm.
because they did not want these type of people around their neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You dared to want to do this, you dared to fantasize and want this, so you're gonna take this beating, period.
Yeah.
And that's what it was back in the day,
Mhm.
because these people are sick. They're
No.
sick, and he's acting like there's nothing wrong. He's acting like there's nothing wrong. He's just
Mhm.
complete devoid of right and wrong.
Devoid of morality, but it goes back to really be of any usefulness in the society, especially if you want to get from 10% to 5%, 1%, you're gonna have to be devoid of morality at the end of it. And that's the rubric. A lot of people that's making money, they have to really be on that mentality. A lot of people think that people that make a lot of money have morality. No, they don't. You get me? So, you know, it is what it is.
The
But
thing
let me
is
jump.
like it's just
I got to jump down because I got to get some rest. We'll talk later, okay?
yeah. I just want to make this final point. It's like,
Okay.
and some blacks would want to try and blame this on whites, but you have this type of
Mhm.
immorality going on even in Africa. With
Mhm.
man boy relationships, you would have this stuff, and it's something that's all over the world that has to be stomped out.
Mhm.
You know, it's not
Mhm.
just with the whites; you have them in black cultures too.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what I would say.
Yeah.
All right, so that's about it because I'm getting hit with sleep too. That's probably the reason why I just let it go so far because I was getting a little tired. All right, so like, share, comment, and subscribe. Um, I'm on all the I'm on other internet. I'm on Anchor. I'm on Podbean. You check me out there. All right, later. I'm getting tired.